There we go. It took a little.
Oh, got to work? Yeah. All right. What's happening, bro?
What's going on, brother? How are you? I see you nice with it, right?
Oh, no, I ain't nice with it. But I be, I got the guitars out, so I was playing while I was getting.
Absolutely, man. First and foremost, man, welcome to On Live with Six King. Dame, I want to just say in this opening monologue, man, I love you. I have so much love and respect for you. What you've done for the culture, your domino effect, your tree for the culture of music, hip hop, fashion is undeniable. It's an old Native American saying that says, when you're born, you look like your parents, but when you die, you look like your decisions. And your decisions to sign people like Kanye West was a domino effect, because without that decision, there would be no John Legend, no Kid Cudi, no Big Sean, no Yeezys. All of that in music, fashion, and television is time sensitive, and it's about decisions made at that moment. And you made those decisions jumpstarting Kevin Hart's career. It has single-handedly changed the whole diaspora of hip hop and culture. How do you feel about the decisions you've made to move the culture forward?
I mean, I feel good about them. You know, I like whenever I see someone that I've started to work with do well, it's always somewhat of a feather in my cap. A lot of I told you so.
Mm-hmm.
So I just feel like I got decent taste, and that transcends everything. I'm doing a live, right? Remember I was doing a live. They're being loud. So, I just feel like I love to see the people that I get to put on win. I love the I told you so.
Right.
I love the fact that I wasn't wasting time.
Right.
So all those things are gratifying, and the better they do, the better it makes me look. So their success continues to keep me alive, where they can do the work and I can stay home. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. Basically,
I respect all of it and love it all, and I'm gonna just keep pushing. But what I love is not only to be recognized for the things I'm doing in my past or have done in my past, the things I do currently and the things to do in my future. So that's what keeps me inspired, and that's what keeps me motivated. That's what keeps me motivated, and that's what keeps me happy and free.
right.
Yeah.
I love it. First of all, man, thank you for having Once Upon a Time in Philly on the platform. It's for me, man, it was full circle, because one of my fondest memories of you was the P. Diddy No Way Out tour, 1997. You was there in some Levi jeans, some Air Force Ones, and a bulletproof vest, and, and it was real. And I think you were checking them on the sound or something like that at that moment. And I said to myself, I said, this is the person that we roll on the same energy, because if I'm gonna lose, I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna lose my way. You knew that you were on the forefront of television, clothing, and all of that. How has that experience helped you create Dame Dash Studios?
I mean, a lot of the beginning of my career was showcasing my point of view through other people's point of views. It was almost like my point of view was hidden behind theirs. And with Dame Dash Studios is 100% my point of view. And it's me curating the people that I want to be around and the lifestyle that I want to project. So, everything that I've done, you'll see a little piece of that in Dame Dash Studios. But overall, I'm a forward thinker. So this is for forward thinkers. I'm a person that doesn't have the same perspective as the masses. This is not for the masses until we become the masses. This right now is for people that want to do things on their own and learn how, that embrace like-minded people, and
Right.
break all those stereotypes and those patterns that have been shoved in our face over and over again to make us believe we're free when we're not, when we're happy when we're sad, and tell us what our level of success should be just based on what they think, which is
Right.
them controlling us.
Right.
So the platform Dame Dash Studios is one, so we can really control the narrative, so that our filmmakers don't have to compromise to be filmmakers, and that they can get the credit for the stories that they tell,
Right.
and also get the residual income.
Right.
So that's why when Omar is telling me, I know a lot of different independent people that are doing things, and I'm like, well, I'll showcase them on my network because they can benefit from my traffic. And
Absolutely.
a filmmaker, as a filmmaker, unless you've made a film, you really don't know how hard it is to make a film.
Exactly.
People think that shit is easy until they really try.
That's right.
And I've seen first timers time and time again, it doesn't work out so well. So, when I was watching your film, I noticed there was a level of quality, there was a good story, it was shot well. So I'm like, I didn't go to school for film, but I know that experience has taught me. So I'm like, yo, I'm sure there's some experience behind all of this. It doesn't seem like a first timer. So I just want to be the one to showcase the ones that no one else showcases, and showcase them on their terms. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And if someone has the ability to get a movie made on their own, whether it's putting up their own dough or whatever it is, and actually filming it, getting it together, editing it, packaging it, and putting it
Right.
out, I have a respect for anyone that does that, and I know that anybody gets better and better as they do it. But what happens a lot with these filmmakers is because they get stuck on one film and they don't get to monetize it, they don't get their money back, and they don't really give themselves a second chance. But
Right.
life, like anything, is a learning experience. And you're going to get the more you work at it, the better you're going to get at it.
That's right.
You
That's
know?
right. That's right. It was a huge freedom in financing my own film and making it and not crawling on my hands and knees to somebody to finance my film. It was a freedom. And so when you talk about freedom, you've been talking about freedom and owning your own master. That these are things that are popular now. But I remember in the office. I remember those days in the office and stuff like that. I remember when you signed Beanie. I remember those days at the Black Fridays office and stuff. You were talking freedom then. You were talking ownership then. You were talking making our own movies then. And so for me, I can say I took a page out of your book. I got my friends. None of them were actors. Every last one of them were hustlers that came home. They was real live hustlers that
Yeah,
did 10 or
I did that.
15
I did
years.
that in Honor Up.
Right. Exactly. So I took a page out of your book because I wanted to put on my friends and I wanted to do it on my own terms. And so when I got a chance to put my film on your platform, because what a lot of people don't understand is that you go on these platforms and you're not truly independent. A lot of these distributors take everything and you own nothing. And so me being on your platform, we were able to do it on great terms, ownership, like with somebody who understands that. Do you think that having this narrative and having it appreciative now will extend in all things fashion and culture, since we don't own everything that we put out there?
Yeah, absolutely. And having distribution is key. So, one of the issues I was having is once I made a movie, I started to kiss somebody's ass to put it out.
Right.
Pause. I'm not doing it. So it's like, the internet has given us the ability to have a direct connection to your consumer unobstructed. And there's so many different ways to put your shit out these days. So, the thing about making a film is it gives you residual income
Right.
But it doesn't usually give you your money, your negative, and what you put into it back immediately. But 10, 15 years later, after it recoups, you're still seeing bread. So
Right.
you have to have either a deep pocket or, you have to be able to sustain that or be patient, have some kind of patience with it, or, be able to really monetize it in the moment with all the ancillary things that come with it. I just think, the way the model was or is doesn't behoove us, it behooves other people.
Right.
And everyone that is behooved is happy with it. So it's only going to take us to change it. And it's just going to be us getting out there, doing it on our own. And, fashion, music, movies, television, because I'm also, launching the over-the-air television network.
Correct.
And also politics, medicine. What? Yes? So how y'all doing a soundtrack while I'm doing an interview? I don't understand it. And then have the nerve to be like, you know what I mean?
So
Yeah, but I'm doing an interview. I'm not, stop the sound check until I'm done, please. Thank you. Go ahead. What are you saying?
one of my favorite things on it is OG stories, right? How did that come about? Because when you're having these OG stories, I feel like I'm talking to like one of my old heads. It's barbershop talk. How did, what made that a thing?
Well, I have a lot of friends, just like you have, and you can relate,
Right.
that, have actually done what they've done, but did it honorably and played by a certain game and a certain rule. And, they came home and they have conversations with me, regardless of whether there's a camera on or not. We talk.
Right.
And I learn a lot. When I look at their life, I appreciate the fact that there's a lot of things I didn't have to do that they did so that I didn't have to. You know what I mean? And I
Right.
appreciate the fact I ain't go to jail, nobody pushed my hand. I really didn't have to do or deal with the recourse like most people did of being in that life.
Yes.
And, I'm not going to forget about those people. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So
man.
when they come home and we kick it, it was like, might as well run the camera, you know. But at the end of the day, it's about people learning from it, not glorifying it. Losing
Right.
a lot of time in jail, and me being a person that had to see my friends, the anxiety that comes with not knowing or being able to help your family, and not seeing them grow up, and the anxiety you feel about what you're going to do in your future. It may make you think twice about choosing a quick dollar, because when you're young, especially males, their brains don't really have the ability to see what it looks like in 10 years when you're in jail. And then
Right.
you're doing something for something that you wouldn't do as an older person. You know what I mean? And there's not
Right.
people there to really guide you. And if there are, if you don't have enough respect to listen to them, then you kind of have to say, I get what I deserve, you know? And no one really
Right.
deserves that, because a lot of what is going on is survival, you know? But the younger generation now, you hear hip hop, these kids are really, really about that life. And it's
Right.
because they have to be in their brain. They're born into believing that if they don't do this to somebody, then it's going to get done to them. And I would hate to have to live or evolve from that position. You know what I
Right.
mean? The fact that they the way they judge how many jails to build and how big they are is based on how many people can't read. So they either prepare you for a job or they prepare you for jail. And there's no in between. And when you go to school, they don't prepare you to have money. There's never been a class on what to do once you get it, how to pay taxes, and everything that comes with it. Because they're not
Correct.
anticipating, they're not teaching you to have that. And the reason why is what comes with money is independence. The masses won't listen. So it's about controlling the masses. And then, those lucky few that are aware and awake are able to go and break a social class, first generation. But, for the others, it's really about looking within, doing what's logical for you, and breaking those patterns that are meant to control us. And that's the reason why visuals are important. People
Right.
watch stuff over and over again, but when another culture is controlling what comes out, they're only going to let dumb shit come out. They're only going to let stuff that makes us go backwards, not forwards. It makes us glorify the shit that's killing us.
Right.
So that's another reason why you have to have your own platform. So if you're going to show something over and over again, You're going to show the shit you can learn from. You know,
Absolutely.
the shit that's going to free us. So that's what this is as well. And, you know, back to what you were saying about putting your own money up to go and do your own film. When you do your own film, you put your own money up, every single person on that set works for you. You're the
Absolutely.
boss. And they only work for you for a couple of days. But those couple of days, 100 people on the set, you are the CEO of that company. You open up an LLC, you have payroll, you pay out. It's
Right.
running a business. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you only have a certain amount of hours in the day, 12, and, you know, 3 with overtime if you're doing
Right.
um,
15, 16 OT time.
OT time, time and a half,
Right.
you know, and, you know, the way you got to spend it, you don't have but so much time. Most
Right.
people have to rent their own stuff. So you got to pay somebody to go get all the rentals and take them
Yeah.
back. All that is draining. You know, it's like doing a business with only a short period of time, with time
Yeah.
constraints. And
Listen, it takes everything. People don't understand, Dave. It takes everything from you when you're doing, these type of, movies, and just keeping story in line. How important is financing to a film, and how important was it for you to finance projects? I remember we were in the meatpacking district, and I saw you. I think it wasn't the Woodsman, it was the one with Helen Mirren. And you were there.
shadow boxing.
Shadow boxing. They had
Yeah.
the premiere. You did the premiere in the meatpacking district for shadow boxing, and I remember at that time Lee really couldn't get financing from particular Hollywood. He had came off an Oscar. How important is it for us to form our own financing fund of movies that we want to see, since we do got what a 1.6 trillion billion-dollar spending power?
I mean, if you want to make movies freely and not be told what to do, you know, if you have an art that you're passionate about, you really can't expect somebody to give you money and then let you do whatever you want with it. They got to
Right.
get their money back.
Right.
And you can't really get what's so mad at that person. So, you know, for me, because I've been through that, it was just like, I ain't going to get mad at somebody for telling me how to spend their money. I'm going to get mad if they tell me that, you know, our deal is one thing and then they do another, which
Right.
happens often.
Right.
But, you know, just to clear up all that, and I ain't got to worry about nothing, I do it myself. And, you know, even when I start a movie, when I start hiring people, they be like, what's the budget? What difference does it make? You're getting paid the same amount no matter what. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Are you putting the
So,
money up?
yeah, like, why you need to know? Your job is this much a day no matter what.
Right.
And, you know, I have to explain to like a new line producer or something like that. You know, I just look at the script and I make the budget as I'm breaking it down.
Right.
You know, and then I know it's not about like I got this much money to spend, I'm not going to go over. I'm going to do what needs to be done, and if I can't, I'll adjust. You
Right.
know, I'll just do it different. And you know, a lot of what goes on into a script does not get shot at all or anywhere near it, because
Right.
what people
Exactly.
imagine is not the easiest thing to capture in real
Right.
time. You know, so you know, I've made a lot of movies a lot of different ways. I made movies without scripts. I make movies with scripts. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I'm only making movies with scripts now. You know, I've good editing. I've salvaged things that weren't ever going to even be finished. I made a lot
Right.
of shit that just hasn't come out. You know, just because I haven't had. I've shot so much shit that I haven't edited. You know what I mean?
Okay. Right.
Like,
Right.
I got so many hard drives and clouds full of shit.
Right.
And one of the reasons why is because I own the cameras. I just start shooting when I'm inspired. So the good
Right.
thing about COVID is it had to make me slow down. So it was a couple of times I was about to start shooting, a little less prepared than I should, but just wanted to get it over with because I'm feeling
Right.
inspired. But because of COVID, I was like, I'm not going to take that chance. You know,
Yeah.
pregnant, got a baby, you know, that type of thing, diabetic.
Right.
So the good thing about COVID, in finding the light in the dark, is just made it where I understanding the importance of, taking my time. So, I'm gonna shoot a movie in May, and I'm prepping now.
Right.
You know,
Right.
like seriously, like as I'm writing the script. The script's not even written. Here's my baby right there. Hey, buddy.
Oh,
But I'm on my first 10 pages. I'm
right.
storyboarding. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
So, yeah.
Everything that goes into it.
People don't know what it takes. It's levels of this.
Yeah.
And I spend 8 hours of my day working on my dream. And my dream is my job. And in order to continue my dream being my job, I got to get better at it so I can continue to pay for it. So, my lifestyle is something that is very important to me. My bubble, being able to live this life, where my family is, happy and, not stressed out, no real problems. And
Right.
I'm
Right.
working hard to keep that bubble that way. And the only way to do that is to get better and to keep doing it. And stop spending so much money and start making some. I'm sick of this
Right.
shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
this
No,
is not that
definitely.
yet. I'm not doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think what the pandemic has taught all of us too, Dame, is gratitude, man. It's been so much gratitude to be able to sit back, and just say I can maintain through this pandemic, because a lot of the artists will not get back to doing live shows until 2023, 2024. Now you mentioned diabetes, and a lot of times on your live and on your posts you show that whole process of being a diabetic and stuff like that. How important was that to you to be so transparent with the people and have it on your platform?
Well, I'm a guy that only looks at the W's, the wins, the light.
Right.
And me even learning I was diabetic and thinking I had something way worse, I've always appreciated having diabetes because I could sustain
Right.
it. I could deal with it. I thought I was flat down. And,
Right.
when I understood how many other people were affected by it, I was like, oh, no wonder I got diabetes. So I could teach people because I could deal with it. So I could teach
Right.
people that can't deal with it. Must be really prevalent in our culture. And I'm understanding how expensive the disease is and how much, information you need yourself to be able to manage. There's a lot of moving parts.
Right.
So,
Right.
and I also think it's kind of cool that everything that I've done while I've been diabetic. So I just feel like I showcase my authentic experiences. I have them for a reason. I capture them. And I know as I'm making money, I'm helping people. And I
Right.
think that's the best way to make bread.
Right. Right. Yeah, definitely. I think when it's all said and done, how long have you been dealing with diabetes? I think that's another question that people want to know. And when you first found out, like, what did that do to you? Was it like a relief?
Well, I was 15, and all of a sudden I started going to the bathroom a lot, lost like 30, 40 pounds, wasn't hungry. I basically thought I had the other thing, the shit everybody was scared of
Right.
at that time. And, I was for real. So,
Right.
for about a month, I was scared to go to the doctor. I didn't even want to know. They started talking about me in school, like, oh, Dame got the bomb and all this type of shit. And I just finally went to the doctor. He was like, you lucky you're not in a coma, but it's diabetes. You take a shot, you feel better. So at
Wow.
that point, I was, because, before I got there, like, yo, I'm just sick of feeling sick. You know what I mean? I'll do
Yeah.
anything not to feel sick. That's why I appreciate my life so much. Being healthy, or at least being
Right.
able to move around, So it's cold. So once I found out, I was like, I'll take it. And I was like, yes. So there was relief there for sure.
If you want another awesome video in our Black Excellence series, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. continue to believe, and I'll see you there.